Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video and checking out another first round mock. We're going to go picks 1 through 30. I am so thankful to be joined by Vinay at Mavs Film Room. They have been doing awesome work. Now, if you found this video, I know you already know them. But if you don't know them, go follow them on Twitter. Go find them on YouTube. They're doing awesome work. And I would say, I was telling Vinay this offline, I would say in the last bunch of months, they have like cranked the volume, and they were always doing good work. But now they're on my personal list of people I check and I listen to. They're near the very top. And so I'm Bo at Mavs Highlights. Vinay, thanks for joining us, man.
Well, I appreciate that very kind intro. Nice to finally meet you in person, ish.
Yeah, right.
We've been following each other for a while on Mavs Twitter. You're an OG on Mavs Twitter. If you aren't a Mavs fan that haven't followed you, then I don't know what they're doing, but highlights during the games are great. Draft takes this year have been great. So I'm excited for more draft talk, man.
Oh, cool, man, cool. Hey, let me ask you a random question. I probably should have asked you online. When our blessed Saint Luca was taken from us, did that hit you guys real hard? I lost hundreds. I'm telling you, the whole country of Slovenia just unfollowed me all on the same day. They were like, bye, Mavs Highlights. I was like, oh my gosh, did that hit you guys?
I mean, in so many different ways it hit us with our engagement in her. We definitely lost the Slovenian grouping of people. And obviously, we're known for probably complaining about that trade maybe more than anyone on the internet. And it is what it is at this point. I mean, we got a lottery ticket and a half heading last year with Cooper. So that is a water under the bridge. I mean, we even saw a guy drafted in Luca's draft class win the championship as the 1A a couple of days ago. That's right. I mean, you can't – a lot of this stuff can haunt you and eat you up, but, sometimes it's best to just move forward. And that's kind of where we're at with all that.
Yeah, I agree. So we're about to jump into this first round mock. We're going to be picking for every team here in the top 30. You're going to take the even, so you get 1 and 9. I get 30, so that's
nice.
The odds. Oh, you get the odds. Did I say even? Yeah, I'll take the evens. There we go. So you're going to be making the most important decision, at least for our context, for sure. You can trade up, you can trade down, you can do whatever you want. You can stand pat and take the guy that you like there. Whatever you want. Let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do this.
Here we go.
My most visited website of the last few months. Right
ESPN
here.
Analytics. I love the look of it. I love the functionality of it. I mean, there are other draft simulators that will give you more information for sure. But I really just love the aesthetic of this one.
I think the creator for this simulator is actually a Mavs fan named Ben Tiermeyer, I want to say his name is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Great guy to follow on Twitter, too.
I need to find him and thank him.
Him and his team have done a great job with the simulator.
Oh, absolutely. It looks so good. All right, so you take us wherever you want, Vinay. You have pick number 1.
Oh, man. I should have been thinking about it already. I mean, DP's been my number 1 since basically last summer going into the season. I know it was a weird season. The creatine story, the in and out of the games and all of that, but this dude's just so talented. And honestly, the top 3 guys, for me, one of the reasons why it's a special draft is I think all 3 of these guys are franchise-changing type of players. Yeah. I'm going to go Darren Peterson to the Wizards.
Okay, all right, so right off the bat, I love it.
That way, but I'm taking DP. I just think he's the best player. Point simple.
Hey, like the poster in your guidance counselor's office said, "Be true to you." Right here we go. So you're drafting Darren Peterson. What do you love about Darren Peterson?
There's a lot. I just think the way he moves on the court is just effortless. It's just rare. It's just unique. His off-ball movement is special for a prospect and entering the NBA out of his freshman year. Not comparing it to Steph, but that sort of realm of an off-ball gravitational mover he has. I think he's the best defender today of all 4 of these guys. That includes Caleb, who I think is a good defender, but there's a lot to work on with him. But DP just has it all on the court, honestly. The playmaking was an issue this year, but I will say the Kansas offensive context and overall team context was just not as good as what a normal Kansas team would be. Even before the season, when everyone had DP number 1, they were still preseason ranked around 19th. Even everyone thought that they weren't going to be that good of a team. So in his bad year, he still had a hell of a year. Maybe the worst year of these top 3 guys, but you could still see the talent in all the games that he played. And I wouldn't blame anyone for taking any of the other 2 guys, but if I was the GM of the Wizards, I'm taking DP.
So you like, and I guess with the first pick, you're not even thinking about fit. You're just taking who's the star I like the most, who's the player, the prospect I believe in the most.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm not really thinking about fit there either.
Okay, yeah.
I will say though, if AJ goes number 1 to the Wizards, and it's like a Trae Young, Trae Johnson, AJ, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr lineup, like that might be one of the worst perimeter defensive teams in the NBA. Just kind of like a weird wrinkle into all that. Obviously, it's not why they would make that pick one way or the other, but just kind of interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, you've left number 2 to the Jazz to me, and you're probably going to be getting a bunch of thank you emails for your pick number 1 because you gave them the guy they want so bad. They've been dreaming. How do they get their local kid? I know he's from Boston, but he's been in Utah forever, and they will do anything they can, I think, within reason to get him. It'd be interesting to see if there is a draft day move up of 1 pick there. But yeah, we're going to go AJ DeBonza, and to me, this is massive upside. Like the ceiling on this kid is unbelievable. His score, I mean, he's one of those guys the scoring is just so easy too. Like scoring inside the arc, moving with the ball, attacking the rim. He's just absolutely incredible. That 3-point shot leaves a lot to be desired. I feel like when people are talking about him in his offensive context, they act like everything is already realized. And I would go like, well, I mean, he projects to be an absolutely awesome NBA scorer. I think maybe even better in the NBA where he has more space to maneuver than even in college ball. But like that shot from range is not looking great just yet. I mean, it has a ways to go.
Yeah, I like him. I like him more on the Jazz than I do the Wizards because I think if he's on the Jazz, he's going to be able to have the ball more in his hands, and I think he's much better on the ball than off the ball. 3-point shot's a little bit of a concern for me. Like the defense is like really concerning. Like if we saw how he tested at the combine athletically, like where did that show up on the film like at all?
He jumps higher than Caleb Wilson.
Yeah, he's an absurd athlete. I think he's going to be one of the best scorers in the NBA if he hits the ceiling. And even in the playoffs, like the type of scoring that hits in the playoffs, like the mid-range scoring, getting to the rim, like he's very unique. One of the more unique wing prospects that I think I've seen in a while.
No, I totally agree. And I absolutely agree that the biggest, if you want to call it a concern, is that he plays one half of the game. Like there's that other side where it's like, where's the same effort? Where's the same passion? Where's the same fire? I mean, God puts you on earth to play basketball. Play both sides of the court. Play both sides of the game, because he has all those skills, like you said, all the throws, all the measurements. It's all right there for him to be an awesome defender.
We're probably going to have the same conversation with A-Cuff later, but like if you're bad in college on defense, like for me, it's like really hard to like squint and see how you're going to do better on that end when it's way harder to guard in the NBA. I think this era of the NBA basketball is like the hardest to play defense in. Like people say, like people don't play defense. Man, it's hard. There's so much space out there guarding these guys one-on-one. There's so much spacing. You can't touch people. Like they call fouls immediately. Like it's hard to play defense in the NBA.
Yeah, so much of 80s basketball and maybe even into the 90s was, can you push your guy around? Can you get him uncomfortable? Can you push him out of the spot he wants to be in? And now it's, can you move your feet? Can you think the game so well? And can you predict where he's going before he gets there, like a good cornerback, in the NFL or something? Like, can you get in the space? Can you, so it's playing defense is totally different in today's game.
Right.
But
You can't just look at combine measurements and then athletic testing and just project that immediately to defense.
Yeah, it's in the same way that if you don't shoot in college, I'm like, man, you've been playing ball unless you're Yaxel Lindeborg. These guys have been playing ball every weekend their entire lives, Like you can't shoot yet? You can't shoot? And so when guys are like, oh, but look at this or look at that, I'm like, okay, check back with me in 3 years and see if
That's
he can
the curious
shoot
part with if he goes to the Wizards, like we're all kind of assuming. I'm just curious how that all works. Like, because Trae should be running the offense. Like the ball should be in his hands. He should be the orchestrator. So I'm curious how AJ kind of plays off of that. I think he can be a good cutter, but like the off-ball shooting, I don't really necessarily see right away. So it is kind of interesting fit to me.
Okay, so we've got Darren Peterson to the Wizards and AJ DeBonza to the Jazz. That brings you up to the Memphis Grizzlies with pick 3.
I think this is the easiest pick of the entire draft that we're going to do. It's going to be Cameron Boozer.
There it is.
He's not getting consideration for number 1, but I think he should get consideration for number 1.
Okay.
I just think he's going to make his teammates like all around him better. It's honestly like super close between him and DP for me for number one, but
Okay.
I can't fade what I saw from DP like high school and college and all that. But Boozer is a special prospect to me too. Like I think he's going to raise everyone's level on offense. I think he's a better defender than given credit for. He's not going to be great one-on-one isolation defense, but I think he cares about that end. He's a good team defender. He's going to be one of the best rebounders, I would think, in the NBA. He's got strength, so he's not going to get bullied by certain matchups. So I don't think he's going to play the 5, and I think he's actually lost some weight since college ended to where he can kind of mix between the 3 and the 4. Definitely more of a 4 than the 3, but I think he's going to he's going to be better on his feet, quickness-wise, in the NBA than he was in college. So I think Boozer is legit. The analytics guys love him, obviously. I mean, I don't know how you are in the analytics realm of things, but like for me, it's a huge signal to me if you're number one in a class like this on every analytics model and draft model that you can construct, and you're number one. I feel like that's a strong signal to me that you might be like a special prospect.
Oh, I predict him to be an absolutely awesome offensive hub, engine player. Do you think he's going to be on a high-level contending team, the leading scorer, or do you see him more in that offensive hub, facilitator, option number 2 when it comes to scoring? Like, what's his best offensive role?
That's a good question. I think I would let him run the offense. I don't know if he'd be like my number 1 scorer, but I think he has the ability to. I think he needs to tweak some of his offensive process a little bit because there were times where he just like put his shoulder down and just mashed at the rim. Like I think there needs to be some in-between scoring that he needs to develop. And in high school tape, there was that. And I think John Shire at Duke, and they were kind of threes or rim shots or nothing else matters to us. So I think he was kind of nerfed of that ability a little bit at Duke. I think he could be number 1 on offense on a team, sure.
On a really good team. Okay, great. Yeah, I think he's going to be an awesome offensive player. I like to hear you have a greater belief in his defense because I want to see the foot speed on defense. I want to see the lateral movement.
It's not going to be great. It's not going to be great. Even he's going to be quicker, I think, but he's still going to be a guy that probably gets profiled to get hunted a little bit. Yeah.
Do you think that in the NBA they get him to lose 10 or 15 pounds? Because he was playing at like 250.
I think that process might have already started.
Getting thinner.
From what I don't know if you listen to Locked On Mavs, but Isaac was saying that he saw him at the lottery and that he looked a lot slimmer than he was kind of like thinking he would. So, I think he's a better athlete than he gets credit for. Personally, I know it's not like AJ DeBonta level athlete, but like I still think he's like he's a fine athlete. He's a good enough athlete.
Yeah, and like I think this is just a truism that I operate on when I'm trying to, in my very amateurish way, analyze these prospects. Is like I bet on smart players. Like that's one of the things I love about Wagler. Like I just look at these guys and go, oh, they get the game. I love that about Kingston when I've heard him be interviewed. I'm like, oh, this guy really gets it. And nobody in this class gets it more than Boozer. Like he is just, you've probably heard him be called this before, but like he's kind of like a supercomputer out there. Like he just instantly processes and like a precog sees the game before it happens. It's really impressive.
That's what stings because we had literally this pick slot a week before the season ended, and people were saying, can Cooper and Boozer fit together? I mean, can two supercomputers fit on a basketball court together?
Loved it.
Like, I think so.
Now tell me what you think. And we haven't talked about this before, but I really want to know. Like I was totally down with the Coop Boozer pairing. I was a little not biting my fingernails off or anything, but like I was a little less sure of the Coop AJ pairing because I think they want to do a lot of the same things. How did you think about those two potential pairings?
I think they would have been fine because those 3 guys are just way too talented for it not to work. I like the Boozer pairing more than the AJ pairing, but I still think it would have been great. And I feel like, I mean, look at Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Like they don't have defenders necessarily to guard these AJ Cooper flag size type of players. So having 2 of those guys on the same team is just like a mismatch nightmare for those type of teams. That's why those teams are like rumored to be trying to get a Yaxel or a Merez, or they're missing that type of guy sorely on their team. So having 2 of them, I feel like you could figure it out. And also, like I think Cooper's best position is the 4, but it is kind of curious that I don't know. He seems somewhat undersized in a way, unless he's going to fill out a little bit, but in ways he is a little undersized. But you just want someone that can shoot next to him if you're going to have that type of wing. And I mean, I think Boozer and AJ would be fine. Boozer more so.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously you don't turn down that level of talent if it's right there for you. But I do agree that the Boozer pairing is more tantalizing to me because you can put Boozer on the perimeter to shoot threes. You can put him at the nail to make awesome passes with Cooper cutting. I just had a vision. I don't know if we're allowed to say vision anymore. I saw a picture of how that could work really well. And then of course Chris Middleton had to win us a couple games. Which, by the way, now Kidd's gone, and Kidd, just so we're clear, Jason Kidd's my second favorite basketball player in the history of the NBA. Not my favorite coach of all time, but my second favorite basketball player of all time. And I wondered if winning some of those late stage games and not embracing the tank sooner was Kidd's way of oh, you're not gonna make me the president, you're not gonna let me have this job or something like that. I don't know. That's just pure reckless theory.
Yeah, I think that Riccardi and Finley I love, but damn, I wish there was more of a concerted effort to kind of go all in on the tanking. I mean, there's a reason the NBA nerfed all the tanking and the lottery odds and all that. It's because it's pretty helpful to team building, I would say. And what's funny is the two teams that jumped up, Utah and Memphis, were two of the teams that were the most shameless with tanking. Everyone was saying basketball. Everyone was going to say basketball gods were going to get them, but I would rather be in their position. I mean, we're still in a good position at 9, but it would be nicer to have 2 or 3.
I totally agree. All right, that brings us to pick number 4. And you said Boozer at 3 was the easiest pick. I think we could make that argument, but I really think at 4, this is the easiest pick because there's theoretically you could trade back, and there's some rumblings about the Bulls being willing to entertain that. Who knows if there's anything to that, if it's just smoke. But I think if you're going to stay at 4, you have to take Caleb Wilson. He slaps, my man. He's going to get up there. He's going to run and jump. I'm a little suspicious of the shot profile moving forward. I'm a little suspicious of that shot ever really developing. And I think when he's focused and put in the right hands, hopefully in the NBA coaching system, his focus will be more consistent, because I think when he's focused on defense, he can be awesome. He can just be game breaking. But I think, like you said too, I think his defense is a little overrated at this point. But I think the potential there is to be just absolutely game alteringly good defensively. I am interested with his offense, but the Bulls are reshaping their franchise, and I think this is an awesome piece to add. Now, I would have preferred one of our first 3 picks, but since Caleb Wilson is there at 4, I think the Bulls will be happy to take him if they stay at 4.
Yeah, Caleb kind of, I don't know. I know he hasn't played in a little bit because he missed the tournament, and then the combine was a little underwhelming. Yeah, the combine was a little underwhelming to me because I thought he'd be a little bit longer wingspan-wise, and he's a little light, I would say, for the 4 right now. He'll fill out a little bit, but still a little light. And the jump shot is a concern if he's a 3 as opposed to a 4. And the ball handle is a little bit concerning at that position too. But he's an awesome prospect. I do think he's a tier below those top 3. And I don't know. I've been tweaking my board a little bit. I might have a guard ahead of him, honestly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to pick number 5, where the Los Angeles Clippers are going to select.
Now, this is the interesting part, because I think if I'm the Clippers, I would try to trade down just based on how – my guy here that I would take is Kingston Flemings.
Okay.
But
yes,
I do think the Garland-Flemings combination is a little weird to me.
It is.
I would be happy to move on from Garland if I could. This would be the second straight team that a team just moved on from Garland because of a different guard coming in, so that'd be kind of funny.
He's great when he can stay on the floor, man. He's hurt all the time.
Yeah, and it's just the defense is deplorable with Garland. I mean, I don't know if you remember that one Mavs Clippers game where those 2 teams were just trading buckets, but they were picking on Garland, and Garland was torching us on the other end.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So if I were the Clippers, I'd probably take Kingston here and then just trade Garland. I know it's easier said than done. I don't think they'll end up doing that, obviously. I do think they care about the Garland fit, whoever it is, but I would take Kingston and trade Garland. Kingston, for me, is PG1. It's been Michael for a lot of the year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Kingston was just a lot better in college. He was younger, too, than Michael Brown. Some of the things I've been thinking about with Michael Brown lately is I feel like he's been getting too much credit for the idea of him as opposed to what he showed at college.
So
and there's definitely a tantalizing... Yeah, there's definitely a tantalizing skill set with Michael, but there is some rough stuff in his film, in his overall game. I still love him. He's probably my next point guard if you don't take him. But... Kingston, for me, just does everything well on the court. I do not have any issues with the jump shot. I know he should shoot it more, but I don't have concerns with the 39% 3-point shooter and an 85% free throw percent shooter.
Nope.
I just don't. The jump shot looks a little wonky. He's a little short-armed, but I think he's the best guard defender of everyone here. I don't know how that's going to project necessarily with the lack of strength to start his career. when you're comparing him to like Burries, but I think he's just going to be like a dog. I feel like NBA spacing as opposed to the horrible spacing they had at Houston. For me, Houston and Kansas had the worst offensive context of kind of this top 10 group, and
Yeah.
I think it really hurt Kingston. When Kingston was off the floor, Houston looked like they've never played basketball before, and that's a team that has a bunch of vet guards and Kelvin Sampson, that type of system. And I mean, they just obviously like needed a guy like that. He kind of went. The team went as Kingston went. There was some concerning offensive droughts with Houston all throughout the year, and it kind of showed its ugly head at their last game of the season against Illinois. I mean, that was one of the ugliest games of basketball you could watch. So there's some concerns with Kingston, but I do think he's the best point guard of this draft class. Like, I really feel like that. And then that's the whole thing with the Burries-Kingston argument is, like, I just don't think it's a debate personally.
So talk to me about the short little arms. You're not worried about that at all?
No, because I mean, when we're watching Kingston last year at Houston, like you never worried about his arms showing up like that. Like he always got the basketballs. He always like his superpower is his mind too. Like we're talking about Boozer. I think Kingston's superpower is his mind, and he has this insane athletic profile to go with it. Like as bad as the first day of the combine was for Kingston, that second day was that great.
Absolutely.
What's funny about Kingston and the Burries thing is I actually feel like Kingston's better at rotating towards the rim and negating, kind of deterring rim shots as opposed to Burries if you're doing that kind of nitpick in their defensive defensive games. But Kingston's like a really sound rotator, not afraid to like jump and like contest the rim. He's not going to get to some of these because he's just shorter and short-armed than a normal rim protector would be. But I mean, he rotates. He's just smart. I think he's going to eventually be a POA guy. Maybe not to start right away, but he needs to add a few pounds, and his strength's going to be a little bit of a concern. But if I'm projecting and for what he is now, I just think that's the guy.
Also, I was looking up his combine measurements today just to kind of, refamiliarize myself. And, like, he was 183 at 19 and a half. Like, he's a young guy still. Like, let the NBA and Father Time put some weight on him. And, like, he's not going to be 183 at the end of his rookie year. Like they're gonna get some meat on him, and he's not ever gonna be like Burries. He's never gonna be 215. I'm gonna be my guess, but like he will get up to 200. Would be my guess. If you're already at 183, the league will come in and put some weight on you. And I asked you kind of like playfully, but like I'm not at all worried about his wingspan, man. Like he more than made up for it. Like some of the analytics show that like on-ball steals of this main guard core here in the top 10, he was at the very top of it. And so like he's pestering the ball, he's picking up steals, he's getting in passing lanes, he thinks the game at such an elite level. Like you said, he has that incredible athleticism, that lightning quick kind of twitchiness to his speed that I just love. I've been kind of comparing him to like young Mike Conley. Like I don't know that he'll ever be the best at anything or the greatest point guard in the league, but man, I predict that he's going to be the kind of player that you can absolutely know we can win with him. Like if we put the right crew around him, we can absolutely win with him. He will lead us. He's going to be a dog every single minute that he's on the court. He's going to root for his team. His teammates will love him. His coaches will love him. I knew that you were super high on Kingston like I am. And I was hoping that somehow the two of us would find a way to get him to Dallas in this mock. But
I am kind of confused that he's been super polarizing on Mavs Twitter. I feel like people are down on him. I don't know. I know the second half of the season was kind of iffy, but damn, there's just so much to like with the kid. And 6'4" is like good size for a point guard. And we're doing the positional size battle between him and Burries. If Burries is at the 2, which I think he is, I don't think he's a point guard. I feel like Kingston almost in a way has better positional size at the 1 than Burries does at the 2 if you're talking about just height and wingspan for like in comparison to other players at that position. So yeah, I'm super high on Kingston. If it was like I said, I have him ahead of Caleb on my board. Like if it's a math specific board and I was at 4, I'd probably try to trade down. But I also like if you're making me choose, I would probably take Kingston over Caleb. And Caleb's a sick prospect, but the Caleb Coop fit is actually what's probably the concerning one for me of those kind of top 3 wings.
Yeah, that projecting either one of them to be lethal shooters is like I think Coop might get there. I don't think Caleb will ever get there. I don't think he's ever going to be like a knockout shooter. I think Coop may have the skills to get there, but it might take a couple seasons, or maybe he'll surprise us year 2 Coop. Right? Maybe he'll come in and just blow everyone away. All right, so I love Kingston, man. I couldn't be higher on him, but maybe you actually are higher on him than I am. So, but I believe in the kid, man. It's impossible to watch an interview of this kid and not go, I want to root for that kid. Like I want to support that. I want to cheer for that kid. And so, man, I would love for him to be paired up with Cooper.
If the Mavs pass on him, and they told me that before the draft, I just don't want him to get to the Mavs at that point because I can't handle the heartbreak of them passing on him.
100% agree. Absolutely. I'd rather him go 5 than go 10, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. All right, so here we go. I've got the Brooklyn Nets, and we've got Wagler, we've got Acuff, we've got Brown.
You got Nate Ament?
I was going to say, word a couple weeks ago was that we could have Nate Ament there. But this is what I would do. And so with these guys on the board, now here's the thing. Brooklyn, I think, needs a guy. They need a guy to put on banners and posters and billboards. And I think Acuff or Brown are like that. I think they've got that flash. I think they got that pizzazz. So for now, I'm going to look away from Wagler. And Wagler, I think by all accounts, is the most likely guard to go to the Nets here. Golly, there's this conflict in my brain because I have just hundreds of times at this point mocked Acuff to the Kings, or it's just like, oh, Acuff to the Kings, Acuff to the Kings. But I kind of see the fit here. I think Brooklyn needs an apex predator on offense. They need someone that can go, hey, give us an offensive identity. Give us a go-to guy to let these other young guys have a little bit of relief and not always have the pressure on them. Let's draft a guy who likes the pressure and who has delivered on the highest stage that he's been on. And Acuff definitely did that. And so I think what I will do is take Darius Acuff Jr. here. What do you think about that pick?
I don't hate it for the reasons you're saying. I don't think he'd be my top guard there, but that's such a tough pick. I don't know who I would take there. Because I feel like they need some athleticism, so Wagler doesn't necessarily play for me. No. Michael's probably who I would take of the choices. Yeah. But I kind of like your thinking of we need to put butts in seats, and Acuff kind of does that better than anyone. I like Acuff, but I just like some of these other guards more. The defense is deplorable, like embarrassing. There's not enough words to describe what his defense was last year.
Yeah.
And I honestly wish he was a little bit more efficient at certain areas of the court. His 3-point shooting was like 44%. I don't know if he's that. I mean, if he's like Dame Steph level as a shooter, then he has to go high.
Oh, and he's even better on catch and shoot. Like he was unbelievable, man, this year.
But then in high school, he was like around 30%. So like, and then the free throw percentage, he was like 81%. So I think he's a good shooter. I don't think he's like a fake shooter or anything like that.
Sure.
I just don't think he's like, I mean, if he's 44% and then 49% on catch and shoot, then I mean, that's Steph Dame level.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him there. But I think the shooting was real. Now, maybe not that real, but like I wouldn't be surprised at all if he comes into the league at 38, 40% three-point shooter. Like I think that would be my guess, actually.
It's just going to be a matter of shot selection. And then what I love about Acuff that I don't think he gets enough credit for is I think his playmaking is legit. Like he's one of the best playmakers in the class.
Yep.
And that gives him the off. Yep, he takes care of the ball. He makes his other teammates better. Like if he fell to 9 in Dallas, I wouldn't be mad at that pick.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I do not like Acuff because of the defensive issues. But if he fell to 9, I think you're just like you either trade back if there's if someone is clamoring to come get him at 9, then maybe you consider it. But
Probably
if not that, I think you just take him and go, hey, Coop, D-Live, protect this guy, like let's try to, let's empower him, but know that we're going to have to really.
There's a guy that I like. There is a guy that's going to go later in the actual draft that I like more than Acuff that I would take ahead of Acuff. But
okay,
we'll get to that later.
When we get there, make sure you mention it. All right, so you've got the Kings at 7. Where are you taking us?
I think I would go Michael Brown here.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Somewhat of an easy decision. Michael for me is PG2 behind Kingston.
I think he's my PG1. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. The overall meshing of like the athleticism, the frame, the skill set is really special and tantalizing. That's why he's going to go maybe 5 or 6 in the real draft. All that's legit. The back stuff kind of looks like it went away if teams are thinking about him that high too. So that was kind of interesting. Him and DP, like we were all worried about what their situation would be all throughout the year, and it turned out that maybe these teams don't care about it as much as maybe the fans did. But yeah, Michael would be like a great swing, I think, for the Kings to take on. I think you still need to build out a lot, and that's like they're still far away from whatever they're going to do. But I would go Michael Brown there.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I love Michael Brown. I think he is awesome. I agree with you that there's a degree of projection that you have to do because you're looking at all these analytics and you're looking at his game and you're looking at the highlights and you're going like, oh my gosh, if this kid could just be this on a nightly basis. But that's a lot of projection, you know? I know in the U19s, he was absolutely incredible. He was hitting everything. And so my concern is he going to be a consistent shooter? Or for the rest of his career, is he going to be a streaky shooter?
I think he's going to be one of the best shooters in the NBA.
Do you really? Oh.
It's just a matter of shot selection, but that's what coaching is for. You got to coach some of the shot selection out of it. But the indicators are kind of glaring. Like this might be one of the best shooters in the NBA.
Yeah, endless range, willingness to get it up, man. He does not mind at all. I love it.
I just wish he had a little bit more in between scoring is one thing I would say about him. Sure. I'm a big believer in 3-level scoring. Like it can't just be threes and rims. Like I think one of the reasons why James Harden hasn't reached the heights he's supposed to is because he kind of went away from the mid-range area in the playoffs. Yeah. And I think it's important for whatever guard we take at 9 that they have that in their bag. Because I mean, we watch the playoffs, and that just matters a lot with your lead guard. So Absolutely. That's one area he needs to develop. Him and Waller need to develop their mid-range area, mid-range game a little bit. I even talked about it with Boozer earlier. They all these guys need to develop a mid-range type of game.
Okay, yeah, I completely agree. I do think I heard someone say that the Louisville offense is notorious for rim three. Like they don't engage the mid range shot at all. So maybe that's not just him. Maybe it's something that like in a new context he can really show that he's got that shot as well. He's got the midi pull up or something like that.
It's a thing for Duke. It's a thing for Louisville. I think it's a thing for Alabama with Phylon because Phylon's a much more efficient or much more like willing mid range shooter than I think he showed at college too.
Yeah, we'll talk about Phylon when he goes because I love LeBaron. All right, so here we've got my pick at 8 for the Atlanta Hawks. And what I think I'm going to do, Vinay, is I think I'm going to give you a tough choice at 9 because I don't think the Hawks go Burries. I don't think they go Phylon here. Wagler is the obvious. Like he's slipping at this point. He's right there for the taking. And you feel free to push back if you disagree. I'm not sure I like Wagler in the Atlanta Hawks ecosystem. Like they like running, they like gunning, they like athletes, they like to get up and down. And Wagler is a slower player. Like he's very methodical, he's very intentional. He's not just fly by the seat of your pants. And yet we know they need a point guard, and we know they need a big. And the most stellar tall man in this top 10 that's likely to go here is sitting for us right there. And so I'm going to take Adai Mara. What do you think?
That's a good pick. I think that's a good pick. I think Atlanta should take him too. I know these guards are kind of tantalizing, and you can't go wrong with the guard. But
sure.
I feel like if you add Mara in there, you don't have to stay in the undersized 5 business with Onyeka kind of cosplaying as a center.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of a concern. Like Orlando, for example, I feel like they've been trying to do the Wendell Carter at the 5 situation for too long. I just think it kind of it hurts your ceiling a little bit. And I think Atlanta with Mara and Daniels, I think that should be one of the best defensive units in all of basketball. For the 24 minutes that Mara's on the court, because that's one of my concerns. That's one of my concerns with Mara is his conditioning is not the best because he does kind of get tired after like 24ish minutes. But he's a great rim protector. I think he uses his length really well. Like sometimes you see bigs that are super tall and long, they don't use their arms when they're like out there. But like even when Mara's like guarding on the perimeter in certain instances, like he'll get blown by for sure, but at least he'll like put his arms up and make like that jump shot difficult and stuff like that. So I love Mara. I used to be like I would be okay with him at 9. I probably faded away a little bit from that, but I think he deserves to go like top 12 for sure. Like no question. I think it's a problem if we let him go to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, if he doesn't go here at 8, it'll be interesting to see where he would have gone. Is there another team in the top 13? You think Oklahoma?
I think Oklahoma City would take him at 12. I think Golden State would take him at 11.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they've made big men work with like Bogut and things like that in the past, and Porzingis for sure. Who do you think, because it's not going to happen because he's gone here to the Hawks, but who do you think the Thunder would have chosen if both Mara and Yaxel were sitting there for them at 12 and they stayed at 12?
That's a tough one. That also like kind of leads me to think they're not. I don't know. Everyone's saying that they want to trade up and consolidate their stuff, but I also feel like they would just stay and take whoever's there because I feel like they could see it pretty close. Mm-hmm. If I were to guess, they're trying to trade up for someone.
Okay.
I could see it being, I don't know. I could see it being Kingston. I could see it being Mara. I could see it being Yaxel. I would guess Mara, but I have no idea. I really don't.
You made a great point about Mara on the Hawks that I hadn't even considered specifically. I've been thinking about the larger team context, but you mentioned Daniels. And yeah, the idea of Daniels funneling people into Mara, like what a death trap that would be, because he's just such an absolute problem. And then you lead them to a very tall other problem. Like that's awesome. All right. Okay. Here we are. The
9.
reason people came to the show tonight. 9. What are we doing? What are you thinking? Talk us through your process before you tell us what you've decided.
All right. For me, it's between Wagler and Phylon.
Okay.
And
Phylon. Oh.
It's super close on my board. And
I love this.
It's super close on my board. Yeah, I don't think Phylon's going to get consideration here on the real draft, but
okay.
I mean, you sometimes you love a guy, sometimes you just dislike a guy more than consensus. Phylon's a guy that I just love more than consensus.
Absolutely.
The weight stuff is concerning for sure. Yep. What's actually curious though is that Halliburton played in the finals last year. He said it like Game 7. He weighed in at 180 pounds. So I know he's a little bit taller than Phylon, but I think you can hide Phylon on these 3-and-D type of shooters like a Lou Dort or whoever it is. Every team has a guy that you can just hide on, and I think you can do that with Phylon. I think for me, his offensive tape, even ahead of Acuff, was the best of anyone in this class. Like 3-level scoring, getting to the rim, finishing at the rim, despite not being a crazy athlete. Like he has floaters, he has efficiency at the rim. His 3-point percentage obviously skyrocketed, and then the freshman year defense was just like great to me. Like on par with some of these guys, maybe like a tick below Burry's Kingston, but after those top 3 guard defenders, I think his freshman tape was better than anyone else's. But if I'm sitting in the GM's chair, I feel like I'd get like killed if I took Phylon here.
Oh, hey, Masai doesn't sweat that kind of stuff, man.
I know.
He's a
Wagler
big boy.
though. I love Wagler too.
Okay.
So I'm super optimistic on this whole kind of group. You want to do a trade?
Hey, look, you got a trade in you? Where you want to go? Where you want to take us?
If you're Oklahoma City at 12, what are you willing to give up to move up?
Well, let's look. You decide. Okay, you decide. Well, I mean, I guess it's an even.
Well, you're Oklahoma City.
Okay, so let me decide. Yeah, I am Oklahoma City at 12. Let's see who I would want to come. Okay, I got someone I know who I'd want to come get. I'm not entirely sure he wouldn't be there at 12 though, to be honest.
But I want to overpay, but otherwise I'm not going to do it.
You want me to overpay?
Yeah, I want you to overpay.
You think Presti is going to overpay?
Well, we don't have Sam Presti today. We have Bo.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's see. If I wanted this guy, and if I'm Presti and I want this guy, and I'm also kind of in a position of wanting to consolidate my roster a little bit and not overcrowd it, I would come in, and since you are not Masai, you're Vinay, I would come in and I'd offer you 12, of course, and
the clock's ticking. It's got to be a good offer to start.
I'd offer you 17. Let's start there. I'll offer you 12 and 17 for 9. What do you think about that? What do you think?
I think it's a good offer, but we like a guy here that we probably pass on that trade. But if you're willing to give me my first swap back in 2028, and pick 37.
No, you're getting greedy on me.
All right.
No, we're not going to do it.
Greedy. All right,
we're not doing it.
Well,
okay, no deal.
Trades don't happen. No deal.
Okay, no deal. All right, so we will.
I'll just take I don't want my fan base to kill me. I'll just take Wagler.
Okay, so you're going.
It is. If I had like no fan pressure or anything like that, I'm probably taking Phylon. To be honest with you.
In your bones, you want to take Phylon though. In your bones,
I want to take Phylon. But there's enough red. I'll go Wagler.
Okay, all right. Listen, Wagler's an outstanding.
There's enough red flags with Phylon to where like I understand why he's probably going to go later than he should. But man, I just think he's going to be sick,
dude. Now, and this is obviously the context I can't ever escape. So like objectivity is not something I even say. Oh, I'm objective. No. I'm a Mavericks fan. I think of everything through this lens of who looks good next to Cooper Flagg. And if you say, hey, what do you think about LeBaron Phylon next to Cooper Flagg? I go, oh, I like that a lot. Because he's slippery like a snake, man. He can get anywhere on the court he wants. You say, oh, he's not as fast as some of these other guys. He's fast enough. You know how fast he is? Enough. That's how fast he is.
I mean, he's straight line speed.
Oh.
He's fast. It's all the other stuff that's like not great athletic.
Oh, but he keeps the ball on a string. He's got one of the tightest handles in this whole draft. I love. And listen, I'm a middle-aged man, so my children would not let me say this, so I don't know the less dorky way to say it, but like. He's just one of those dudes who has it. He has aura, like that's what he's got, man. Like the idea of him and Coop running a fast break and he lobs it up to Coop and them just both like shouting and yelling and getting the fans hyped, man. Like Wagler's not going to do that. Not in the same way that LeBaron would. I don't think. I just don't think he has that.
There's just different. There are different styles of players. Like Wagler's going to be. I love a slower paced guard that kind of plays the way Wagler does.
Yep.
I get the concerns Wagler has, but I just feel like his feel and his shooting touch is going to be too much for him to like fail outright.
Oh man.
It's kind of curious that some guys think of him more as a 2. I like him way
me.
more as a 1.
Yeah.
So I hope. I mean, if it's Dallas, you can take your time, I guess. And I think he could have like a rough rookie year, but a type of guy that I would want to develop and like. All the stuff is there for like a really high upside to me.
Listen, you get no arguments from me. Keaton Wagler, not the best prospect, but has been my favorite prospect to watch this entire cycle. I just love watching he's got this weird, quirky, high center of gravity, weird kind of way to weave in and out. He attracts contact. He initiates contact. Like you might go, oh, he's frail, he's thin. No, he does not play frail and thin. He's constantly initiating contact. He's a really darn good rebounder for a point guard. I like you said, I think everything rises and falls on the shot. And I think he will shoot, man. I think he will be a great shooter. And people are like, oh, he's a terrible defender. I think he will be an average defender. Give him a little time. Rookie guards get smoked in the league, but like give him time, and I think his length and his smarts will get him to be about an average defender. Nothing.
I actually don't have a ton of optimism on the defensive end for anyone outside the top 3 guards of defense, like Burries, Kingston, DP. Okay. Outside of that group, you can tell me anything what happens with the defense. Some guys are going to be worse on defense than others for sure, but I don't think I'm going to expect even like positive defense from a lot of these guys, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, no, I think neutral is the best that you're going to get out of some of them for sure. But I think the offensive context will be so strong that you'll be happy with neutral. And you can give them some good defenders around them. All right, so this brings us to pick number 10, to the Milwaukee Bucks. Who knows what's happening in Milwaukee right now as we speak? There could be craziness happening. And can we just for once and for all get that over with? Can we just make the thing happen and move on? But in this draft, we've got you at pick 10, Vinay.
It's you.
It's me. Oh, my gosh. Here we go. Thank you. One day I'll learn odd and even numbers. Here we go. All right, so they are definitely trading Giannis. That's where I'm living. That's my world.
Should we mock the trade in this draft? Because do you think Giannis is going to the Celtics or the Heat?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I think the Celtics. I think the Celtics are more likely than the Heat at this point.
So I'm curious how if it's a 3-team trade, I'm assuming. I don't think Milwaukee wants Jalen. I think Milwaukee would end up with the 8th pick and the 10th pick. And I think Jalen would go to the Hawks.
Interesting.
If it's Miami, then obviously Milwaukee gets 10 and 13. And then I also kind of think Milwaukee would try to trade up for like an A-Cuff type is what I think they would try to do. Okay. So there's a lot of scenarios that can play out with the Giannis trade.
All right, I'm not going to factor the Giannis trade in for me. There's just too many moving parts. I'm going to just take the guy who I want them to take. The guy who you wanted to take a couple picks ago, or last pick, is LeBaron Philon. I love LeBaron. I absolutely love him. I already kind of went on my spiel. You already talked about how much you love him. Anything else you want to say about Philon?
No, I just think he's going to succeed in the league. I know the weight's an issue, but I just think there's too much offensively for him to just completely fail. I just think, like I said earlier, I thought his offensive tape and how he got to his spots and how he scored. And I also think he's an underrated playmaker. That's probably the one thing he doesn't get enough credit for, because some of the bench guard comps he gets, like Bones Highland and these other bench guards, like he's a way better playmaker than these guys. Better. So that's what's going to help him a lot is the playmaking, the ambidextrous, whatever the word is, using both right and left hand. I think he's probably the best at that too, and he gets passes off with that. So I'm kind of confused why he gets compared to like these just kind of smaller bench guards. I know the body and all that, but like the skill set doesn't match those kind of guys.
Do you think having 2 years, right, to put on some weight, do you think he'll be able to, or is he just going to be one of these skinny guys?
He might not be able to put on like even like 10 to 15. I would just hope he gets like, I don't know, 180, 185, but it's not something that I'm necessarily projecting that he can just add all this weight, because some guys just can't. It's hard to, I mean, all these guys that we're projecting to add weight, some of them just aren't going to. It's just part of human life, but hopefully Phylon is one of those guys. Hopefully Wagler is. Hopefully Kingston is, but chances are some of these guys aren't going to be able to, and chances are that might be why some of these guys fail, because as much as I love these guys, they're probably not all hitting. Like someone is just bound to probably fail just off the odds of what the draft usually is.
Absolutely. I mean, what is it, 50-50 that they'll turn out, and or there'll be disappointments, that kind of thing. I don't know what the odds are, what the percentage is, but you're going to get some guys who 3 years down are like, Grady Dick, like, oh man, that guy's just waste of a pick. All right, so you're up at pick 11, the Golden State Warriors. What are you thinking? Yeah, I know. That's kind of where I am, too, on this pick.
Is tough.
Yeah, I know where I'd go, but, it is a tricky
I was
pick.
Considering Phylon here.
Yeah.
I do think the Warriors are still probably in this win-now mindset around Steph, and I think that's right, and to do it justice. And I feel like Burries and Pods, I think they're different type of players, but they also kind of mesh with each other too much to where if you add Burries to that team, I don't know. I think I would go Yaxel here. I love Yaxel.
Okay. Yeah, that's my pick, too.
I have Yaxel like top 10-ish on my board. I don't know if I would take him on the Mavericks just because these guards are there. But at the same time, if Masai and Mike thought Yaxel was the guy, then I wouldn't be mad at it, because I just feel like having the ability to pair like Cooper and Yaxel together is just pretty tempting to me. But for the Warriors, like, I love the different lineup versatility you can have with Yaxel. I think you can get away with Draymond at the 4 and Yaxel at the 5 in certain situations. And I mean, he's Bam's. I know his like vertical leaping ability isn't great for a 5. Like, that's why you can't play the 5 full time. But in certain stretches, they can kind of play some of that old school Warriors small ball lineup with Yaxel at the 5.
Yeah.
Death ball, exactly. And I don't know what the Warriors are going to do here in real life, but I'll go Yaxel for this exercise.
Yaxel board. All right, I love this pick. This is where I would have gone for sure if the board played like this. Like you said, they're not ready to fold the tent and call it a night. They want to try again with these old guys. Get him an old prospect. Get him an old rookie, right, who can step on the floor. He's not going to ever project to probably be the best player on a great team, but he will step on the court and be a solid player with maybe the potential to be a really, really impactful player if winning is what you're after, and they're trying to win right now. And so I think it's a great pick. All right, so that brings me – let's start speeding up a little bit after we got through the first 10 here. So we've got Oklahoma City at 12. They're not going to trade. And I am just – can they take another guard? Can they do that? I think Burries is the highest on like for my board right here, right? But I'm just wondering, like, would they potentially move off of Hartenstein if I gave them Hannes? Would that be like a Presti kind of move?
I don't think they can get off
money.
I don't think they can get rid of Hartenstein because he's just too important to that team right now.
You think so?
The reason why they went after him in the first place is because Chet can't do some of this big man stuff, and that's kind of what Hartenstein is necessary for. Like, I don't think they can, especially as they're competing for titles, I don't think they can lose Hartenstein. If someone stole him, then that'd be great for everyone else in the league. But if I'm Oklahoma City, there's no way I could lose Hartenstein. I already feel like I'm going to lose Lou Dort, so I think Burries would almost be my Lou Dort kind of replacement.
Okay.
But it is kind of tricky, though, because if you get Burries and you're trying to play Kaysen and Shea together, you're kind of smaller. It's the one thing about Burries that I wish he was like a little taller and longer to kind of play like a 3, because he's going to be kind of like a smaller wing type.
Yeah, but he does have the muscles, so maybe they can put him out there. Maybe he won't get shot over too often, but he'll get in the grill. He'll play some tough defense.
I think Oklahoma City would be pretty happy if Burries fell to them at 12.
Yeah, I mean, he's an awesome constellation if you stick at 12.
I also think I think the Warriors like him too a lot, but for me, like, I don't know how much I would love I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it with Pods in him, but I think the Warriors like him a lot too. There's an Arizona connection with Steve Kerr and him.
No, I think you made the right pick. I think Yaxel was the right pick to the Warriors. That just feels such an obvious need for them. I think that's a good pick. All right, we got the Heat at 13. Where do you want to go?
Speed up. This is tough. Let me look at my board.
I know they are tough. With this has been a Phylon pick. Like the Bucks or the Heat have been where I've put Phylon over and over again, but he's off the board. And so, who do you like? Who's Heat culture? Who does Spoelstra like here?
If they don't get, I mean, I think the Miami Heat are going to end up getting Giannis personally, but if it doesn't go to Milwaukee,
not the
Celtics.
Miami. Okay,
it's one of those two for sure. If I'm the Heat, I would take. Man, that is tough. Not gonna lie, man. I'm thinking about a Corey here.
Oh, okay. Where do they have him?
Yeah.
All the way to 24. He's not that low. He shouldn't be that low. All right. You feeling good about
A
that?
Corey. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Corey here.
Corey, lock it in. I love this.
There's some nice prospects there for sure. When I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the Heat system, they have they play like no screen offense to where a lot of guys just have to win one-on-one. I feel like Okori is the best at like just getting to the rim and breaking his defender down and just getting to the rim. I feel like he's a great fit for that. He's also like a good swing type of pick for them because they need kind of like a higher end offensive type of talent.
Yep.
And I think Okori has that. I could see them going with like a Hannes or a Merez Johnson there for sure. But if Miami's staying in that pick, I think I would heavily consider Ibuka Okori just because of the one-on-one type of scoring and what you can kind of develop him into. And I think he's actually like, we talk about the top 3 guard defenders. I think he has a chance to be the next best one just based off of his frame and even the
Long
college
arms.
tape. The long arms, the college tape, I feel like he cared more on that end than some of these other guards did this past season, which isn't saying a lot compared to some of these guards. But yeah, I thought.
Now, he wasn't playing in the most competitive context, right? But he was, I mean, going to the NBA, there's so much more space. And I don't think there's one man who can stay in front of him. Like, he is lightning personified. Like, I was kind of, I was going through this thing for a while when I was watching a lot of Kingston. I was like, oh, Kingston's got the best first step in the whole class. And then I started watching Okore, and I'm like, oh, no. Okore has the best first step. Like once he puts his mind to it, he's getting past you. He's gonna blow by you. It's an impressive skill. I want to see him hit more threes. He needs to develop that, I think. But he finishes at the cup really well, and he can get to the cup and he can get those paint touches at will. And so I think this is a really, really good pick. Any more thoughts?
If he was a better playmaker, I would have him like in that tier with like Acuff, Wagler, and Phylon. It's just the playmaking is kind of what's separating him from those other guys. But I don't know if that's the Stanford context. I don't know if that was him. I don't know what it is. So it's kind of hard to judge. But I will say, I mean, he did play some competitive opponents this year. I mean, he had a game against North Carolina and Caleb Wilson where he just tore everyone apart that was guarding him. So I'm curious where he goes on draft night. And also, like, if the Mavericks do that trade back, he would be a guy I'm looking at probably 17.
Yeah, that's exactly. I would love him at 17 or 18 if they get
one of these guards is just going to fall off math, and teams aren't just going to all take guards. There's going to be some of these wings that, I mean, Nate Amon hasn't even come off the board yet, probably not for a while. If I'm guessing how we feel about if he's not going to come off the board for a while.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to come off the board at 14, I can tell you that. So at 14, we've got the Charlotte Hornets and their first pick. And I know where I'm going here, or I know between the two. I want to get them some more defense. I want to get them a big man. I want to get them someone strong. Thank goodness for Moose and Kalkbrenner, but I want to get them either one of these two, either JQ, which I'm nervous about, or Merez Johnson, who I love. I love Rez Johnson, man. As a matter of fact, Rez Johnson is the pick for the Hornets at 14. I love what this guy does. He's one of those relentless motor guys. I'm not sure he ever makes an all-star game, and I don't even care about it. I would love if he made like a second-team all-defense or something like that. He's going to fight for every rebound. If he's guarding you, he's going to make your night miserable. He's going to make all the right plays. I think he's a better passer than people talk about. I think the shot is developing, and he's just one of those guys who, like, every fan base wants to have this guy on their team. Every team wants to have this guy in their locker. He's just one of those dogs that you go, I will go to war with you. And I just love Merez Johnson, man.
He's an awesome player. That Michigan front court was just insane, and he's
ridiculous.
I've heard a different order for how people like these prospects, like between all of them. I've heard some people have Merez one, Yaxel one, Yamaro one, like pretty crazy group, and that's probably why they won the championship. My one issue with Merez is I kind of feel like he's a little tweenerish. Like, I feel like he's better as a center. I feel like he's better as a center, and then I also I just like the taller height centers personally more, which is why I like Mara more. But if that shot develops, I think he can guard like every position on the court, which kind of gets like over talked about in terms of like people being able to do it. This guy can actually do it.
Yep.
So I think that's a great pick for Charlotte if it plays out like that.
Yeah, I think like he could legitimately on switches guard anyone for a few dribbles, but I think consistently he could switch 3 to 5. Like I really do, and maybe 2 to 5. Like I really, really do. None of the big guys can consistently guard the best ones in the world. Those guys are just too skilled, too good. But like if someone could, it's going to be somebody like Russ
Would you
Johnson.
take him at 9?
No.
Okay.
No.
Some people love him to where they would take him at 9.
Yeah,
So I'm curious where you
I would
feel.
take him in a trade back. He'd be my first pick if we traded back,
12?
though. Yeah. 12
Because
or
the
14.
scenario you're talking about with 12 and 17, you could just take him at 12 and then take the guard that falls at 17.
That's exactly what I've been doing, Vinay. I look at that scenario and I go, I think this is my favorite scenario because, I want Kingston and Burries keeps falling to us. And I'm like, if it's Burries and there's someone wanting to come up and get Yaxel or Mara, like I'll trade back. I don't know that. I know that I would take 12, 17. I think I would take 14 and 18 and maybe throw in a second or something like that to sweeten it a little bit. Maybe 2 seconds. I don't know if we could get that. But, yeah, I really do. I like the idea of trading back.
The Oklahoma City and Charlotte scenarios are super interesting to me because those two teams also have like our first-round picks in 27 and 28 if you can somehow pry it away from them. And also, like, if you're able to get 2 picks in this range of the draft, I just feel like it's hard to pass up.
Would you, okay, so knowing that this is a gamble, right, for anybody watching, this is admittedly a gamble. Would you, if Oklahoma comes knocking and says, hey, would you like your pick back, your swap back, and pick 17? So they're keeping 12.
No.
You wouldn't do it? Okay.
I think the Mavericks can be good next year. I don't know. There's so many different ways I think their season could go next year. A lot of it depends on Lively's health. If Kyrie's still here past the deadlines, which vets are gone. But I think there's a scenario the Mavericks can like make a 6 seed. I think their team is. I think Cooper's going to make a sick year 2 leap, and I think in a way he's almost under talked about. Cooper's crazy to say is underrated in NBA media. I don't know how that's possible. But
well, it's because they were pushing Khan so hard, and then now they're pushing Dillon so hard. A
little bit of that, but everyone before the season was saying that this guy, people were questioning if he could be offensive number 1, if he could create his own shots and all that, and like. Kid put him out point guard day 1. This dude was creating all of his shots on his own. That's not even his best role.
No, definitely not.
We got lucky last year. That's all I can say.
He's awesome, man. All right, so we got to speed up. We're at 56 minutes in. We got to get going. We're not even halfway yet. Come on.
There's a lot of bigs here that I might have higher than Sturts here, like Steinbach and even like Steinbach. But I think I'm going Sturts here just because I took Caleb Wilson and I kind of want some shooting into that with Giddey also. I think Sturts and Giddey would actually be a like nice little synergizing backcourt duo, even though they're not the most athletic. I feel like the passing of Giddey and Sturts can play off ball and they can kind of interject with how they play their roles. I really like Sturts in Chicago. Love Sturts. I don't know if I would take him at 9 or anything like that. There's some people that would. That's a little rich for me. But
me too.
We talk about the supercomputers in this draft with Boozer and all of them. He's one of them. The shooting and the shot making is absurd with him. I don't know how much of the skill matters, but if you're talking about late shot clock situation, just making a grenade type of shot, I think Sturts might be the best of all these guys from what I saw this year. Like has like a crazy tendency to make these like Luka type grenade type shots at the end of shot clocks. So I love Sturts. I don't know where he's going to go in the draft because of the age and the athleticism concerns, and he's a little lighter than you'd like from older prospects, like 180. But I love Sturts.
I was looking at the hand measurements just because I'm a sicko, and one thing about Sturts, big paws. He's got big hands compared to the other guards. I think there was one of the dimensions where he had the biggest hands of any of the guards. And I was like, oh, okay, so he's not just some tiny little guy.
That shows up with his rim finishing, because funny enough, he had like the best rim finishing, I want to say, of all these guards, maybe outside of Bruce Thornton. I think he had like 70% at the rim, which is absurd.
That is awesome.
It's not like,
little guy.
and it's not like he's doing NBA jam dunks at the rim. Like it's all layups. And I'm not saying he's this guy, but he gave me like sprinkles of a reminder of what Steve Nash used to play like.
I see.
But I'm not calling him Steve Nash, but like sprinkles.
Right. Yeah. I see it. I see the sprinkles. Yeah. Exactly. So here at 16, they got Cam Boozer with their first pick, and I am gonna give. The second pick. Where do they go? I'm gonna give. Let's see here. Does Carr make sense for the Grizz? Coward's a 3, right? Is he a 3?
2, 3-ish. I think more of a 3.
Okay. And who do they have at a 2? Do you know off the top of your head? I'm trying to remember. Jaws on his way out.
Their team is a work in progress.
They're close to ground level here. I think I'm going to give him Cam Carr. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Unbelievable athlete, really dependable shooter, tries his butt off on defense, needs to put a little weight in the caboose. Obviously, he's got to gain some weight. But I think this is a guy who you could see for the next 7 to 10 years, Cam Boozer finding for lobs, Cam Boozer finding for layups, starting fast breaks, Boozer as an outlet man, throwing it up to Carr for unbelievable highlight dunks. And I don't think he's going to be like the best player on a championship team or the second best player. But he might be the third or fourth. And I think he could be a really quality player. And so I like Cam Carr a lot.
My concern with him would be kind of the weight and frame situation because he's going to try to be like a POA defender, I would think. But I didn't really love him as a POA defender this year. Even in like the Arizona Baylor game, like Burries was blowing by him, which is kind of concerning because it's not even Burries' best trait as a player. So I'm kind of concerned about how he is as a POA guy. He is ridiculous with blocks at a 6'5" height, like absurd.
Yeah.
I mean,
The wingspan was 7, right?
Wingspan shows up 7 foot, so... There's a lot to like there. He's a little bit older, and he is kind of a project wing to me. But I mean, I think he's got a lot of stuff you'd like in a player. 17 Oklahoma City. I took Burries at 12, or you took Burries at 12. It's kind of interesting. I'm stuck between. I think I'm going. I actually think Presti would take Nate Ament here. Funny enough.
Okay.
He is a guy that took Jiang, Ousmane Jiang. He's
patient.
So they kind of give me that similar. But actually, for the project wing pick I'm going to make here, it's going to be Dalen Swain.
Okay, I like it. I
like Swain a lot. I feel like the self-creation is special from a wing. The shooting is a concern. The jump shot needs to be like completely reworked. That is one issue I have with him. But like he was iffy on defense this year, but last year at Xavier he was really good on defense. And I think once you get him into the Oklahoma City culture where everyone's asked to defend and all that, he can kind of get back to that. I think he's going to be a good defender if he's in the right situation. Oklahoma City would be one of those situations. And I just think he's kind of like a project they can kind of develop, and a few years down the line they're going to be happy they did it. I love Swain.
Yeah. He's fun to watch, man. Watching him break his man down and attack the rim and finish with like either hand on either side of the rim, like there's not just a ton of like highlight reel dunks or something like that, but he's got a million ways to finish in a crafty way. Like I really like his game a lot, and I think if he shoots, right, he's one of those classic if he shoots guys.
Might never happen. It might happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't love betting on those type of guys, but he has enough. He has enough there offensively to where I think he could still make an impact, like maybe like a Najee Marshall type.
Yeah. Every bit of that. Yeah, I think maybe even more. And I love Najee. All right. So with the Hornets at 18, Nate Ament has fallen enough. Here he goes. Here goes Nate Ament.
I would have kept him falling.
You would have just let him fall. I just was like, no. With their second pick, the Hornets are going to make the upside play here. They're just going to swing away. They already took, was it Rez? Yeah, they already took Rez Johnson to come in and be the stable bulldog. They're going to make an upside play here with Nate Ament. That's where they're going.
I really thought you were going to go Steinbach there.
I thought about it, man. Like Steinbach makes sense to me, but like next to Merez, it's like, I don't.
I'm going to take Steinbach here at 19.
Let's do it. Oh, I love that.
If you took Steinbach at 18, I was going to take Sergio De La Ria for Toronto.
Are you serious? Oh, I love it. I love that. That's awesome.
Well, I guess we'll get to Sergio in a little bit. But yeah,
okay.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah. He stayed in the draft, so he's definitely going to go in this first round. All right, so the Spurs, they clearly need backup bigs. Cornette just, for whatever he is, he's not going to cut it in a championship setting. And, Wemby needs some muscle on his team. And I'm looking for muscle. Terrace Reed is a lot of muscle, but I don't think I can take Terrace Reed here. Okay, no more thinking. Oh, I want to think about it because I want to give them Christian Anderson. But no, they've got.
You know how many jerseys you'd sell if you took Kareem Lopez here in San Antonio?
Oh my gosh, man. That sounds a little racial, but you're exactly right. Yeah, absolutely.
No. Any of the Texas teams, if they take the kid from Mexico, they're selling jerseys.
The Mexican population, that will absolutely support them. You're 100%. I'm not going to take Kareem Lopez, though. I'm going to take Chris Sinak because I believe in Sinak more than Lopez. I don't know what Lopez is. Pick. I don't know what he is. And I can't say with any confidence I know what Sinak is, but if Sinak becomes what he could be, It's an awesome basketball player. At the very least, a great support player. He's going to give you his all. He went to Houston to play under Kelvin Sampson because he wanted to be pushed. He wanted to be challenged, and Sampson chewed him up and spit him out. But on the other side of it, Sampson only had praise for him. And so the shot needs to develop. I think the shot's there. I would like to see this young man with is it like 7'5" wingspan or something outrageous like that? I would like to see him block more shots. I would like to see him attempt to block more shots. Pick up more fouls trying to block more shots, Chris. But I think he's too good to drop any further. I like him here in this context.
I feel like I could see San Antonio being a team that trades up just because the way we played it out, I feel like they get kind of like wiped out with a guy that they might like a Merez Johnson or someone like that. I feel like
don't
that's a guy
let them get Merez Johnson. Don't let them get Merez Johnson.
I like the Chris Sinak pick, but I'm kind of curious how much he would play like this next year. And Spurs are kind of pushing for titles at this point. So
sure.
All right, number 21 with the Detroit Pistons. This is tough.
Yeah,
this is like another thing where there's some project type of players that I like a Sergio De La Rey I would like a lot, but I don't think that Detroit should do that. Christian Anderson is pretty tempting here because that's exactly the type of player that they need.
They need scoring and shooting. They need to take a little bit of pressure off Cade. Yeah.
I think I would go Christian Anderson here. I'm not even the biggest Christian Anderson fan, but I just feel like that fit is too perfect. Yeah. What concerns me about Christian Anderson is the ability to get to the rim, like we talked about earlier, I think before the show. Or was it during the show? It's been so much time, I can't even remember.
It's been so much time.
But Anderson's one of the best shooters in the draft. He kind of gives Cade that safety valve of a guy that he can just give the ball to and work off ball a little bit. I really like that fit. And the great part about having a jumbo point guard like Cade is you can get a tiny point guard like Christian Anderson to play next to him. Kind of the similar dynamic, not near this level of Luka and Kyrie, but kind of a similar dynamic where you have a jumbo point guard, smaller point guard that can also create on his own. So, yeah, I'll go Christian Anderson there.
Okay, I love that pick. I love Christian Anderson. Here's the thing. For the 76ers, I think we have to stop the Jaden Quayton's fall at some point.
Yeah.
With the Embiid trials that they've been through,
now that I'm thinking about
any chance that they take Jaden Quayton's, man?
Kind of thinking I should have gone JQ at 21 now that I'm looking at it.
He could have gone there. He could have gone there for sure.
I could have. If I'm Detroit, I'm not paying Jalen Duren personally. He's probably going to get paid.
He looks scared.
JQ would be. It's just JQ's physicals and red flags there with the injury stuff.
I know it's
scary.
It's very legitimate too.
His freshman tape at Arizona was special. I don't think it's a bad pick if you go to Quayton's here at Philadelphia at all. He's definitely fallen too much.
It was either going to be Graves, who I really like and think he'll go earlier than this, Quayton's, who I think as a defender is awesome and I think will go earlier than this, or someone like Kareem Lopez Koapi. I just think they stay somewhere in this range, the 76ers. I'm going to go upside here, and I'm going to go – they have Maxey, they have VJ. They need someone to man the middle. I was going to say dependably, like someone they can depend on, and that hasn't been Quayton's. But I'm going to say Jaden Quayton's is going to be healthy-ish, and there he goes to the 76ers. Have they just repeated their mistake? I'm not sure. But, man, if this guy can stay on the floor, he is an awesome defensive center. He's a true backline, like lock-it-down kind of guy. Like, he's a great defensive prospect.
Yeah. 23, we took Mara at 8, I want to say.
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
If I'm Atlanta, I'm trying to get a point guard and a center out of this draft. I love this guy that I'm about to take. I said, I would have taken him in Toronto. Sergio De La Rey. A little bit of a project entering the NBA, but the skill set of the passing and the shooting that he showed in a tougher league than college by a lot in the ACB. Mm-hmm. Yep. He was the backup point guard for that team for Valencia. The guy ahead of him is a good player too, so he didn't get to play a lot and as much as these guys, but the frame and the skill set is just like a bet that I would want to take. If the Mavericks took like Burries at 9, for example, and could find a way to get Sergio, because I don't think he's getting to 30, and just kind of nab him in kind of this range, then I would like that a lot. I love Sergio. Kind of did a weekend deep dive on him this weekend, and I loved what I saw. A lot to like there.
I haven't done a deep dive yet, but I've watched a few highlight videos and things like that, and he's got promise for sure.
This guard class is insane.
It's really impressive. It really is. All right, so here we've got New York Knicks, the world champion New York Knicks. All right, and they need someone to potentially replace Mitch Robinson if he leaves. Who could do that? Oh, well, they love Zuby and they love Taurus. I'm going to go one of these two for the Knicks, the local boys that have played there in MSG. You got a strong take on this? Who do you think would be better? Taurus is more of the true five. I think Zuby's probably the higher prospect to me.
I think Zuby's the better prospect too. Surprised you're not considering Graves here.
Do you think does he seem like a Knick? Does he seem like someone who the Knicks would take?
I mean, I think Graves is going to be like a plus role player, defensive player type of guy, like a Covington, Jay Crowder type of player.
Okay.
I don't know if I love him as much as like the analytical models probably have him. I feel like it's a little fake-ish noise based on the conference play, but I mean, it is still pretty striking how he rates on the analytic stuff. Okay. And I think he's a genuinely good player. Like, I think he has stretch four. He can knock down the three. He's a great defender. On ball is a little tricky for me with him. Like, I don't think he's going to be like a clamp on ball defender type, but off ball and getting steals and rebounds and offensive rebounds and plays like that, I think this guy's going to be an impactful player, and I get why he is rated highly.
Let's take him at 24 to the Knicks. You're the guest.
I convinced you.
I can see you did.
What's your pick?
I'll tell
I
you.
shouldn't have said anything. I would have taken. I paired up Graves with Luka.
I asked for your opinion. Now you can't. So now you're at 25 for the Lakers. Do you want to answer the phone call, because the Mavericks are on the other end offering you Daniel Gafford for pick 25, and you can throw in some contracts or something like that. I know the ones that have been
I think that's
floated.
a win-win trade for everyone involved. So
you want to do it? All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
We
haven't had a trade. We haven't had a trade yet.
Let's offer a trade. Let's see here. We're going to trade pick 25 and Vandy, and where's Connect? Connect, by the way, can be waived for those of you that aren't familiar with his contract. He's a team option. They can just waive him if they don't like him. And Mavs are going to give, not pick 30.
Just Gafford.
Yeah, just Daniel Gafford.
I think that's actually a win-win for both sides. I would be surprised if the Mavericks didn't trade a vet before this draft and get a pick in between the 9th pick and the 30th pick. And not only would I be surprised, I would also think it's a mistake if they didn't do that, if they have the ability to.
All right, so you are on the board for the Mavs at pick 25.
Shoot.
Come on.
You just made this fun.
No, it's fun, man. Let's spice it up a little bit. Kareem is still sitting there. Pete's sitting there. Isaiah's sitting there. Henri Visar is sitting there. Josh Jefferson, who I love. I like all these guys. I don't
there's
really
going to
like
be a good
Koa.
player.
I don't really
I feel like
Koa.
there's going to be a fun prospect at 30.
Yeah, there's somebody here that I really like at 25.
I kind of got wiped off from my tier if I'm looking at my board. Like,
there's
Graves
Baba
with the last
Miller.
guy. Damn, I shouldn't have brought up Graves to you in the next. I was just taking Graves.
You messed yourself over, boy.
I think I'll take Kareem Lopez here and stop the fall.
Okay. What do you like about him?
There's not he's a project for sure. I love the physicality that he plays with, or that he has. He played like high level basketball and like knows how to be in the right spots. That's what I like too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of development stuff, and I want to know like what skill set is he gonna like be elite at, and what's he gonna stand out at. I don't know what that skill is yet, but having that type of size, I feel like he's gonna play physical. Like I said, he can rebound fine. He has some nice versatility with the ball in his hands, catching and going off rebounds, and I could see Masai and Schmitz liking him. Hopefully they don't like him like at 9, but
oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, I think that's a nice little developmental project.
I like it. I like the pick. Plus, he has monstrous hands for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
Like, he was up there with the biggest hands.
Like
in
25, 25 Lopez and Ament, I have like in the same tier, like two-person tier, like this range. After like the Graveses of the world, and I would probably swing on a project wing at that point. But some of these guys are going to be better right away.
Okay.
Well, it's tough to look at like Joshua Jefferson and not take him there. But
I don't know who I would pick here. I just don't know Kareem Lopez's game well enough. But I like it there. Like you said, it does feel like he's been underdrafted at this point. So you're probably getting a value pick here. I think for the Nuggets, I'm not even going to think about it. You know, they need someone who can come in and not replace Gordon. You can't replace Gordon. And he doesn't shoot like Gordon. But Gordon can't stay on the floor, man. And Zuby can do some of that.
That's a great pick.
He's not the same athlete. He can't hit the 3 yet. But Gordon couldn't hit the 3 in Orlando. You know, like, you got to give people a little bit of time. I believe in a worker like Zuby. I hate that he's not there for us at 30, to be honest. If you would have taken him at 25, I would have like given you the biggest applause. I'm irrationally in favor of Zuby. I love this kid.
I love Zuby. I have him higher on my board too. I just Lopez was like a little bit higher, and I
Sure.
thought he was falling. So
No, there you
I
go.
was hoping Zuby would fall to me at 30, but that's fine. And I think it's a great fit with Denver. I think him and Jokic are like a terrific type of pairing.
I do
And
too.
I think Zuby's going to figure out that jump shot too. He's too hard of a worker not to, like you said.
Yeah.
Pick 27, Boston. I'm not even the biggest fan of this guy, but I feel like he just fits what Boston likes to do with the 5-out offense and being able to space the floor. I'm going to go Henry Visar here.
There he goes.
I think Boston cares a lot about the 5-out spacing with how they. I mean, when they won the championship off of the Porzingis at the 5 lineup. So Visar doesn't do some of the big man stuff that I'd like as well as he should. I feel like he gets pushed around a little bit, but I do think that this jump shot's legit, and I think he's a good player.
Yeah, he absolutely is. I think he's kind of overhated, to be honest. Like, I like him a lot. He's not an awesome defensive center, but I think he's one of those rare guys that can actually project to be a stretch 5. Like, he's not going to be some lights out shooter, but for a 5, I think he shoots very respectably. He needs to hit more free throws. It's weird how he hits his threes and misses his free throws.
Yeah, that's
which
alarming.
normally he has the big man curse reversed. It's kind of weird.
He has to be a good shooter, otherwise it's not going to hit. So it better.
Oh
shoot
no,
well.
he's got to drop shots. Absolutely. All right, so the Timberwolves here at 28, they've still got Naz Reid. They still got Gobert. I was going to say someone like Taurus Reed. No. Malik Thomas, if they just want a little more shooting, could be interesting. Isaiah Evans is it's probably going to be Evans or Thomas just to get them a little more shooting at this point. And I like Thomas better than Evans, to be honest. I think he offers a more well-rounded offensive game, and he offers a much better defensive effort profile that I've seen. Like Evans, if he's not hitting threes, I really don't know what he's doing for you. When he's hitting threes, he's like THJ for the Mavs, right? Just when he's hitting threes,
it's a great comp.
it's
THJ
awesome.
is a great comp.
But I'm gonna go Malik Thomas because I really like Malik Thomas just in general, and I think he needs to go. So there we go.
There's a lot of fun players in this range. It's tough to like stack them against each other.
I know.
But it's
I like
that
all
the
these
Mavericks
guys.
Yeah, I think the Mavericks are going to get a good player at 30. 29 for Cleveland. Man.
There's Koa Pete, Evans, Josh Jefferson, Taurus Reed,
I'm not a
Caravan.
Koa Pete fan. I like Joshua
me either.
Jefferson probably here.
Okay.
I like Joshua Jefferson here. Older prospect, a little bit limited as an athlete, but high feel. I feel like he's going to stick on a playoff rotation off the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a guy that just completely outperforms his draft slot, and 29 he's going to outperform his draft slot, I would think.
Absolutely.
It's just tough because there's so many guys in this range, so he might be the guy that falls. Hopefully he does fall to 30 and we take him. I'm a big fan of his game.
Yeah,
Does
I'd
everything
love him
kind
at
of
30.
well.
Yeah, if the Mavs came out of this with Josh Jefferson at 30 or even at 25, I'd be happy with him at 25. Like, I like Josh Jefferson in this range. I think he's going to absolutely outperform his draft seed. And man, the Cavs just need someone who won't fold. They need someone with a backbone, right? And Josh Jefferson is a man. Like, he will fight. He will fight. until the
Interesting
end.
team they got in Cleveland. I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know.
I mean, they're bringing back
whatsoever.
James Harden. I guess I don't know why, but yeah. Who
All
are
right,
you going here at 30?
Yeah, let's see. We've got Baba Miller, who I like. I know people have been talking about Bruce Thornton, maybe at that second-round pick, though. Taurus Reed is great. Isaiah Evans probably goes before this point, honestly. And so we've got Koa Pete, who I think is an awesome athlete. I think he's a smart kid. I think he's a good kid. I don't know if he's ever going to find a shot. But does he need to go at 30? I just don't know. Which way are you leaning here? I don't have a strong – like, Zuby is always the guy I want to be here. He's gone. Who do you like here?
I think
for
I'm
the Mavs?
spurning to the podium with Isaiah Evans and taking
Okay.
Cooper's teammate.
Taking his buddy. Okay. All right. Well, I like it. All right.
I made 2 picks for you.
Yeah, hey, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. No problem at all. So as we kind of scroll through and let everyone kind of see the recap of the first round, Vinay, thank you so much for your time. Tell people where they can find you online.
Yeah, follow us at Mavs Film Room, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Draft content is fast. We're coming out with a lot of draft content. We'll stream tomorrow live probably, so check that out.
Awesome.
Or today when this comes out, tonight, Tuesday, we'll be streaming live. So yeah, follow us on all those platforms. Appreciate you for having me on. This was a lot of fun. I could talk draft for hours and hours and hours. it's kind of crazy that it's coming up so soon because I feel like we've been talking about these guys for like 5 years at this point. But
Tomorrow's a
I'm
week.
Excited to.
Tomorrow's a week.
Tomorrow's a week.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens. I've been kind of nervous with what could happen because like I said earlier, I don't want the scenario to happen where we pass on like a Kingston Flemings at 9. That would be. I'm actually going to be at the draft this year, so it's my first time.
Are you making like?
Going to a draft.
Did you just happen to be in town, or are you going to the draft?
I was making like a vacation to New York anyway. I'm actually thinking about. I'm going to fly in like Wednesday. Nick's parade is on Thursday. I don't know if I'm going yet or not to the parade because it's not my team.
Yeah.
And it's also led by a player that we gave up for free, but. It's also like a thing where if you're in town for the Knicks parade, I feel like you almost have to go.
Come on, it'll be a memory that you'll hold on to for the rest of your life.
I'm thinking about doing that, and I mean I know we're not supposed to go on this tangent. I'm a huge Jalen Brunson fan. I'm really happy for him. I'm happy they beat the Spurs, the Spurs, F Wemby, and all
Take
all
those
that.
Spurs down. Absolutely.
It sucks that JB like left kind of how he did, but I know some people that like one of my friends in college like was the videographer on his AAU team. Raved about him as a human being before he did anything at Villanova. Raved about him as a player. So he's been on my radar for a while.
I love
And then when we drafted him, I was so hyped. I never thought he was going to be this good.
Yeah.
I heard positive things when he was on the Mavericks too as a leader. Like think about like the post Berea Dirk teams, like the leader of that locker room. It was like a younger Jalen Brunson. So I've always heard positive things about him as a human being, even above the player. And he doubted everyone, or he proved all the doubters wrong with saying that he couldn't be the 1A. Like it's a great story. Sucks that it always seems to happen at the pain of the Dallas Mavericks.
Right.
It is what it is. It's water under the bridge at this point. We have a bright future to look forward to, which includes this draft pick. So all of that is just whatever.
Well, Vinay, I think we did a pretty good job tonight picking our picks and a little bit of predictive too. Everybody go check out Vinay at Mavs Film Room on Twitter X and on YouTube. They're doing awesome work. Vinay, thank you for your time tonight.
Appreciate it, man. That was a lot of fun.
All right, have a good one.